Okay, back again. I went through and textured the rest of this side all the way around it. So, and removed all the guns and the thrusters, so I could get in there and texture inside that area for the most part. Looks like I missed something here. All right. So now the other side. It's a mess, uh, but it's mostly there. So what I'm going to do now is turn off symmetry and go through and finish this side off. Same method as before. And that is the same method I did with the rest of the ship too, so far. Now I call this like the first run on texture. This is just getting it all colored and get a general idea of what it's going to look like. Later, I will go through and try to fine tune a lot of it. Wow, what a mess. It would be nice if the symmetry would actually work right. And there's one other issue too I'm going to show you in a minute here. That a lot of these textures will flip their UV after the fact. And you won't know that until you respawn the ship. Like it just solid with no lines, and I don't like it with too many body lines. These breaks in the texture. So it's basically just coming down to finding a happy medium between the two. I didn't know this trick on my earlier builds either. So if you go back in time and look at things, Cerberus and Mentor and a lot of those ships, they did not have this done with them. I do intend to go back to those ships at some point in time and tweak them. I just have not got around to it. It's going to take a while. I'm not sure if it's worth the effort or not, because they are old and they don't comply to new standards. Some of the ships I probably will go through and update the storage and a lot of things to Alpha 9 or greater. It's just, it's going to take some time, and I do like to build new things. I look at the older stuff, and the way I did it was different. They don't have the fidelity of the new stuff, but they could be upgraded. It's weird. I still hear some thrust. That must be a generator or something inside the ship. So I think all the thrusters are removed at this time. rigorous doing this. I mean, texturing these things does take some time, but it's well worth it in the end. When you have a ship that's nice and textured and everything looks right and kind of looks plausible. I guess that's the whole point I always try to go for, is to make things look plausible. Like, hey, this could really exist. Yeah, I know it's made out of voxels, but I'm trying to do every effort to make it not look like Minecraft. So that's another key principle on what I try to do. Yeah, I did Minecraft before. It was a lot of fun. Great game. That's probably why I like this game so much. But there was, you didn't have the technology that this game has. You can really go and do things a lot better now. Basically, with these lines, when in doubt, I just cover it up. Sometimes you get areas that are just plain because there's nothing will line up. That's where the second part of the tweaks come in, and that's where trying to find other solutions, something to break that up. It doesn't look so plain. Have not done that yet. That'll be a tutorial on detailing. Probably getting at least 2/3 of these textures here. I seldomly ever keep any of these animations. I don't know what it is about it. I just feel the need to remove them because I don't know. They seldom let it look right where they would be at. I mean, I would love to be able to actually put in my own seams. You know, I could have run a seam like over here, like this is one metal plate here, and do it again over here, but you just don't have those options, at least at this time. We'll never know what's coming, but I don't think it's a priority in the game to have it do that kind of thing. And that'd be a lot of work, too. Sometimes it can look right in certain light where it doesn't look bad, and then when you see it nice and clear and bright, it's just like, why in the heck do you have all these seams and lines everywhere? I don't see any modern or vehicles out there that have anything like that, because it would be kind of silly. Oh jeez, more. Yes. So monotonous. Well, that's reasonably okay. Now, here's what sucks. Oh, wait. Let me just get this part done here. You might wonder, why did I put this one in here? Just to break it up. but to me, it doesn't look realistic. I mean, find anything in reality besides maybe some kind of light show, and you wouldn't see anything like that. Let's see some running lights. Like what I did there. Okay, so that part's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this ship. And what am I calling this one right now? Okay, so Merc MX-10 A Proto. Again, I put this, I call it A because it's at the top of the list, easier to find. Only reason. Okay, so we did a base texture on that now. So I'm going to respawn it. And now, coming through here, you're going to see a lot of these have returned. This just sucks. Wish it didn't do that. Earlier ships, it was puzzling me because I would spend all this time trying to make it look right, and then I would publish them out to the workshop, and I would see what it looks like for other people, and then I know my original version looks better, where this wasn't a problem. And I didn't know what the heck was going on until I started respawning these things, and I realized that, hey, it shows all these UVs again on you. Just really screw you up. So I even get rid of more. So when it's all said and done, there's not a whole heck of a lot of this metal texture, right? But from this point, when I spawn it again, it should be the same. To do now is switch over, and I'll fix some of this stuff up later. Just drives me nuts. Maybe this is OCD. It's probably just freak out. I don't like to see weird lines. I don't like to see no lines. So that's just a problem. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and start painting this. Now right now, earlier ships, I pretty much went with gray, so this would have been pretty much already painted. I might have added a little black here and there or something like that, but now I've been doing this kind of grayish, all different shades of gray color scheme, and I think it looks a lot better. It brings out some enhancements, and you get to see some more detail when it's all said and done. So, figure out a color scheme here. First thing I did is I brought in my custom colors. Now, on the palettes, I keep these three stock, but then I'm adding in a couple of darker shades of gray, and I actually use this shade of gray as a black. Now these others over here are alts of like this is a slightly downgraded tint of this one. This is even slightly more downgraded. And the reason I have those is for certain textures. Like a vent, I might use a different tone on it versus what the metal looks like. So since we're going to do a mass quick paint, I'm going to just do the whole block at this time. I'm not sure on the exact color scheme I'm looking for, or where the lines are going to be, or anything like that yet, but got to start somewhere, so. White. of look at everything as like a certain part. Like if you're going to assemble this thing in a factory, where would it fit together? Because, so like this whole beam chunk here could be a piece made in a factory, and then it gets bolted on. And sometimes we can come up with a method to make it look like it's a separate part. It joins up. Same thing with this whole thruster, this very complex thruster setup here with all kinds of crap in it. That could be a piece, and it could bolt right onto the side. Sometimes like having little pipes or something, like to separate it to make it look like it's a separate piece. And come to think of it, I might like redo these blocks here to make like a seam there too, so it does look like it's another piece. Now with these angle blocks, texturing them is a pain in the butt, and there's very little that will work or line up on it. But one thing you can do is paint them different colors to give it some contrast. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with this or not. Now I'm getting an even line here. And that kind of helps. Again, it's determining how much dark versus light you want on this. But I do like seeing smooth angles like this. Just as an example, what I hate seeing, or I never do myself, is something like this. And I know why it's done. It's to make angles that the game doesn't naturally do. You can't do more than a 22.5% or degree angle. So here's what I don't like. When you see something like this pattern here, let me add one more to it. You see ships that have a lot of this going on. It's just like, to me, it suddenly looks like Minecraft again. It doesn't. I know you're trying to make an angle, and you'd like a smooth angle from here to here, so you're compensating by having a flat block in between each one of these angles. I personally try to avoid that at all costs. Don't like it. Never did. If you have a big ship and it does that a lot, it looks blocky. So I tried to, if I was going to try to make the same thing go up on an angle like that, I would do similar, but I'd break it up differently. I'll try to show you here real quick. Okay, so the objective was to have this stretched out to, what was that, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, about 8 blocks. What I'm going to do is I'll run the same angle up these, and then I would smooth it off here. So we're accomplishing the same thing, but now this looks, in my opinion, more realistic. Like this would be a part that would do that. Now, if say you wanted to have it keep on going up, that's fine. But you can go up over here again. But sometimes, if you break that up, it gives you this flat spot. Maybe add in some kind of accents there or something like that, or another part next to it that overlaps it somehow. I just wanted to show you that real quick. Alright, well, back to painting. Alright, how about, I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to pop in a vent. Oh, here, I do is I use an off tone for this, and it just subtly makes it a little bit different shade. And little things like that, I think, enhances the looks. See, now I put that piece in there, but it's a little bit different toning than that. So then I go with a darker one yet. So then this is more of an even tone. And that's why I have those other colors. In some builds I have quite a few more yet. Depends what I'm doing. I did something really funky here with the blocks. I actually took a beveled edge going this way, and then offset by one row going the opposite direction down, which gives you this line here, which is kind of cool because you can color that a different shade, and it's weird, but kind of adds in something. Not sure what. It's all about trying to get as much detail as you can out of this stuff. There's another texture which I'll usually do differently. At least with painting, the symmetry works better, especially if you paint the whole block or you're filling in the whole block at one time. Okay, so did some kind of paint scheme here. Builds, I go put in another one that goes darker, yeah, because that texture I use, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be darker or whatever, but it's generic concrete. The colors on that is different, so I had to make custom colors so they blend in better. Here, so that's like your the lights and darks. Now these other tones I like to use for some piping and other miscellaneous things. I might do like this part with that tone, this part with that tone. I should make that brighter too. Let's try a darker shade of gray here. Why? You know, it's kind of why not. The whole point is to get some contrast in this, but not overdoing it. See, like this vent, I'd actually want darker yet. So you know what? I'm going to copy this, paste it here. I'm going to tone it down a little bit more, so it's still probably darker. It's lighter than this one, but darker than that. I know you can hardly see the difference, but it's little things like that that just can, when you look at it as a whole, when it's all said and done, all these little enhancements do help a lot. Alright. Ooh, I'm not painting the full block. Okay. This might change. Painting something is kind of like how does it look to the eye? That's the most important thing. It's not where, you know, how you line up your like lines or anything like that. It's just how does it look when it's all said and done. And this is I've been trying to do this with every build, so I get more and more used to it. I didn't do it in the past. I experimented with the Nomad XT, and I think it was the MX2 with, and MX5 with coloring this stuff. And that was before you could make your own custom colors. Now that you can really enhance stuff. I mean, you can mess with it forever and until you really come up with something you like. Like on this part here, what I do like is the separation of this white beam here, surrounded by black on both sides, and this nice angled black fits well. The inside here, however, because of these kinds of blocks, the black's going to carry over across the corner. So the only way I could really make this inside area work is also keep it black. I wish I didn't. I would actually want to go with maybe even a silver kind of gray shade here, but there's no way I can do that because as soon as I color that, even if I have this off. Oh, well, okay. On this side it works. Okay. Kind of, but not on this block. You see, so it sucks. Not much you can do about that except try to avoid it. Well, you kind of get the general idea on how I'm painting this stuff. And it's a lot of, I mean, trial and error. I mean, what looks good, what doesn't look good, where should it be dark, where should it be light, if you even want to go that method. You don't have to. You can make it all gray, whatever color. But it's all little things. The more that you do, the more enhance the look of whatever you're making. As you can see, it's starting to look more and more like these ships over here. So that's just what I wanted to show you a little bit for coloring at the time. I don't want to make you grin and bear like going through this entire ship and trying to get it all fully tweaked out and colored. I'm going to do another tutorial on this, a couple more on this ship. The next one would be detailing, and that's where I'm going to go through the body once it's painted, the parts are back in place, and go through and add enhancements, try to up the fidelity one way or another, sometimes through the use of decals, sometimes through coloring, through alternative textures, basically whatever you can do to try to get as much fidelity in something as you can. And that's kind of what was done to a ship like this here, where you see like little rings around here on the pipes and a caution symbol. I used a lot of these equals and minus and colons and things like that because there's not many decals I can really use. Most of them are these picture things that just don't look right, at least on the builds that I do. So I don't use them, or very rarely I should say. I have used them in a couple lounges just as decoration. But little things like that, the contrast difference between seeing all black and then having a couple little dots of white there, it just gives your eye more to see, I guess. Not that, I mean, what are these? I mean, what are they, markers? Are they like you're not supposed to walk there? I don't even know. I have seen little marks and dashes like this on modern military ships occasionally, or planes, jets, things like that. Markers of some type, and that's basically what I'm trying to make happen here, is make them look a little more authentic, like these are like some kind of markers and this is an engineered vehicle and whatever. So that's a theme I'm always going for. Here's the dark one. So you can see how much different it looks already painting what was painted versus just the straight gray model. Now don't get me wrong, I do like the flat gray. To me it does look more military. I broke away from that simply to try to enhance the looks on things, but I still do have a love for the flat. It's just it doesn't, when it's all said and done, this is going to look fancier than the gray version. Okay, well I'm gonna sign off on this one here, and I'm gonna put these two videos together, and hopefully that gives you a good idea on the process, or the base process of texturing and painting, and then detailing, and then another tutorial which is going to be on the inside of this. As you can see, there's a lot of work to be done here, and that's another whole can of worms. I try to keep them separated, interior from exterior, because my methods change and I do things differently. Okay, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed this video.